everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's great to be here today answering our community's questions as we start a brand new year. Excited to be able to see what the questions are for this week. You know that we tackle all of your wellness, weight loss, anti-aging, health coaching, you name it. Any of those questions, happy to answer those for you. So, this is a brand new year. I'm excited to be able to hopefully move forward with you, to be able to finally accomplish those wellness and weight loss and anti-aging goals of yours. And so I just want you to know that lean on us this year. Really, let us know how we can help. That's really what we're here to do. I think we're close to about 50 people now on my team strong, and you can ask questions at cabralsupportgroup.com. You can ask questions at stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. Those ones take about 6 weeks to be answered, which is what we're answering here today. You can text me quick questions. I can't read labs for you, as a quick tip, but you can even text me now, just quick questions as well. I literally get them on my phone right here. I can't show you those text messages because obviously they are private, but you can just text me. You can just go to stephencabral.com/text, and it will just show you the community software, which is completely free, to text me, and I'm happy to give you a quick tip. Remember, quick tip, but I'm happy to do that, and you text me. So I'm committed to answering 100 of our community's text messages per day. I'm able to really fly through those. So basically, once a day or twice a day, I hop on for a few minutes, and I just rattle off the answers and those links and whatever else that people need that they're having difficulty finding. So, if it's a general question, ask it at cabralsupportgroup.com. You're going to get answers to your questions pretty much the same day there. We have 10,000 members strong, so that's definitely the best place. And then if you're willing to wait 6 weeks, you can have your question read on the podcast. It'll be answered a little bit more in depth. That's at stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. And then quick tips right at stephencabral.com/text. You can also be a part of the Insiders community where I send voicemails. I did a video last week and just some things that nobody else is basically privy to. So I can share a lot there, which is a lot of fun. Again, I love this industry. I love being able to connect with people. And so this is just one more way to do that. So hopefully that's helpful. And again, like I said, let us help you get on that right path this year. All right, so let's dive right into the questions. As I always say, I've never seen these questions before, so I need to open up my document. Usually I'm using my handy dandy iPad, which I typically am always using. But this week I'm in front of my laptop. And so easy enough, I'll be using the questions inside of this big pages document because I am all Mac, no PC. All right, first question is from Mackenzie. What's she saying? Mackenzie is saying, suffering with Candida, and I'm planning on doing your protocol with some supplements from my functional med doctor. What is the diet you recommend? I couldn't find a podcast that went into detail with this. All right. So Mackenzie, there is no other protocol that I use or recommend or could vouch for except for the CBO protocol. So go to stephencabral.com/CBO. That's it. Sorry, that is not the URL. This show is not edited, so I have to give you the correct URL. Go to equa.life/CBO. That's equi.life/CBO. That is where the sensitive gut guide, and that is where all of the different details are along with it. Remember, there's only one CBO protocol, and I say this to you in all earnesty. You cannot find that protocol for less. We give it to you at the lowest of the low prices. I custom formulate those products. You can't find them anywhere else. They're used by 3,000 practitioners or more globally all over the world. So if you're working with an integrative health practitioner, they can get that for you too. You can get it right over at equa.life, but there's no substitute. So the problem is, and the reason why I'm really recommending this, a lot of people use things like Candibactin, and I have no problem with those, but they always come back to us and they say, hey, I got some results, but I didn't get the results I'm looking for. Just do it right the first time. That's honestly what I'm trying to tell people. Listen, do it right the first time. That's what it's all about. Our products are guaranteed. I don't know anybody else that guarantees their products. Ours are guaranteed to work for you because we use them over and over and over. And not just in my private practice, which I had in Boston for many, many years. We use them with tens of thousands of people all over the world. So There's your answer, Mackenzie. I know I was a little ranty there, but I'm telling you, it's just because I want the best for you and I want you to get your answers. Your practitioner can get them for you. They can, you can get them for yourself, but it's what works. It just bottom line, it's what works and been proven to work over and over. All right, Gabby's up next. She says, hello, I'm a 44-year-old female who lives in Perth, Western Australia. For the past few years, my blood test results have shown a positive thyroid antibodies, TSH of 4.68, 4.22 in 2020. Similar reading recent blood tests, subclinical hypothyroidism, antibodies, peroxidase, reading of 226. My GP has told me I have Hashimoto's, but it's not too significant to commence thyroxine, although he feels that I will have to in the future. I'm wondering if this can be corrected naturally, example, supplements, dietary adjustment, etc. I've been taking some kelp supplements for the past 3 months. I'm not sure that it's been beneficial. Regards, Gabby. All right, Gabby. A little sip of herbal tea there. And the number one thing, you wrote in on November 18th. Was this ready for November 18th? Yes, it just came out around that week. So I can't recommend looking into, just go to stephencabral.com/courses. Click on thyroid rebalancing. You can partake in the Health Results Accelerator, which gives you the exact protocols that I use in my practice to rebalance the body to make sure that thyroid's functioning well. And you can also just take the free masterclass if you want, but that will give you everything. So the answer is yes, there is an answer for everyone. Remember, we don't treat disease, right? We don't treat disease. You have Hashimoto's. What does it mean? Well, autoimmune issue with the thyroid. Okay, well, where did it come from? Where did it come from? That's the question we need to be asking. So as integrative health practitioners, we ask why. Why do you have Hashimoto's? Well, here's why. Potentially heavy metals, potentially nutrient deficiencies, potentially gut permeability, potentially food sensitivities. We go through all of those reasons and all the protocols inside of the Health Results Accelerator for the thyroid. So if you want to go there directly, it is just stephencabral.com/thyroid-accelerator. So that is it. And that will give you all of your answers. But I'll tell you right now, TSH in the 4s is not optimal. It's certainly not optimal. If it's above a 2, we watch. We really do. If it goes above a 2.5, we're getting to work. We really are. So that is my recommendation, Gabby. Lots of free information. By the way, I have about 20 podcasts, maybe 25 podcasts just on thyroid. You can go to stephencabral.com/podcasts. Look at the little images at the top. Just scroll through them. Click on the one that says thyroid. We categorize the podcasts now by their particular topic as well to make it a little bit easier. And again, those are all free. So check them out. And I mean, the best thing that you could do, honestly. So I would do those. That's, again, knowledge is power. And when you're ready, you may want to, I would sign up for the Health Results Accelerator, but I would also get the lab with it, that stress hormones, mood and metabolism lab, because it's like $300 off and you get a consultation with the health coach that's going to give you a protocol. Yeah, it's the best of the best, without a doubt. And we ship to Australia, so it's super easy. All right. Michelle's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I appreciate the podcast so much. It has been instrumental in helping me, especially the Mindset and Motivation Mondays, as I suffer from anxiety and depression. I'm 35, a vegan, recently tested, no deficiencies, calm tea, chronic sinusitis since I was young. I have alopecia, eczema, severe car accidents, trauma with the death of both of your parents. I'm very sorry to hear that. Recently started intranasal corticosteroids, which help, but not sustainable. I'm also having a really hard time emotionally. Let's see what else is going on. So prescribed certain medications, thought about doing acupuncture, rolfing, can't help but my body is not responding to trauma I've experienced. Also would like to know your opinion in inherited trauma, as my mother was a survivor of abuse and my father survived the Dust Bowl, imprisonment, and many other traumatic life events. Thanks for all you do. Michelle, it does sound like your parents, had a very challenging time and obviously you're dealing with trauma as well. I had the holistic psychologist on, so I would love you to go and listen to that interview. You can, again, just go to stephencabral.com/podcasts. And you can scroll through those images and just click on Conversations with Cabral, and you'll find the one with the holistic psychologist. And let's see, next week, right? Next week, let me just check my podcast schedule. Yes, next week I have Mark Wolin on, and am I holding it right here in front of me? I think I am. Is it holding my computer up? Let's see. Well, you'll just take my word for it. It didn't start with you. the book Mark Wolin wrote. So yes, I do believe in inherited family trauma, and I think that you can work it out. His book is excellent, Michelle. If you haven't started there, I recommend working with a qualified therapist, and I recommend reading his book, It Didn't Start With You. I also recommend, I have a future podcast in about 6 weeks from now, maybe 4 weeks from now with Jessica Ortner on emotional freedom technique. So I really have some great, I love my Thursday shows now with all these different experts. So I recommend there. And then of course, you have some issues going on. You're taking corticosteroids. That's going to raise, most likely, epinephrine, adrenaline levels. It's going to speed up the heart rate. It could lead to more anxiety. So I would really just make sure, how can we wean you off of that? Do you have gut-based issues? Do you have Candida overgrowth? So if you're able to run the Big Five, I can't recommend that enough. If you can't run the Big Five, then I'd run the starter kit. Thank you, Michelle. I wish you well. Laura's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've listened to your podcast about the perfect breakfast and heard on so many podcasts that you do for your first meal, smoothie and sometimes oatmeal. Yes, that is what I do. But I don't have the time to make the smoothie in the morning because I work for family and I live with, and when they come downstairs, my work starts. But before that, I don't want to wake them up with sounds of the blender, hee hee. So after my lemon water, I just eat mono meals of fruit until lunch, which is usually quite late, sometimes later than 3 p.m., which makes me quite run down considering I'm predominantly a Vata. And I also, my gut isn't great. So I probably shouldn't consume that much fruit. Any suggestions on what I should eat? Also, when to take which supplements, which meals away from them, which can go together, which shouldn't be taken apart. I've heard ester C should be consumed on its own with a meal that doesn't contain fruit. Magnesium should also be taken on its own 1 hour before bedtime. But now I've heard that it should be taken with zinc for better absorption, when to take vitamin D during the day, all this contradictory information. It's so confusing. So your help means a lot. Thank you so much. And never change because you're a light at the end of the tunnel. Laura, I really appreciate the kind words. And I appreciate you telling me never to change because I'm about to add a little tough love, just a little tough love, but it's only because I'm there for you. So here's the thing. You can make a smoothie. Everybody can make a smoothie. Everybody has time. How long does it take to make a smoothie? You can even pre-bag your fruit ahead of time, right? You can get your little silicone bags. You can put in a couple blueberries and you can put in a cup of frozen banana if you want that have already been pre-chopped. You take the smoothie, you blender out. What do? You add 16 ounces of water, 12 ounces of water, whatever you like, little nut milk, do whatever you want. Add that pre-sorted fruit in there. How long does that take? Maybe you're up to 30 seconds, okay? Out of the freezer, water goes in there, boom, you're done. Turn on the blender. How long does that take? 1 minute? Okay, now we're up to 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes, and then what do? You can wash your blender later. Honestly, fill it in the sink with water, which is sometimes what I do, much to my wife's dismay. But anyway, you add your daily nutritional support to that because you do need some protein, all right? You absolutely do need something to hold you over. You can't eat lunch at 3 o'clock either. That's a different story. Okay, now you said, I don't want to turn on the blender because you said, I think some people are sleeping, right? Let's see, I don't want to wake them up. Well, listen. So first of all, your family will give you 5 minutes, even if you work for your family, right? Or just wake up before them, right? Even if you need to, this is not the best thing to do, but if you need to, pre-blend the smoothie the night before. It's not the best thing to do, but there it is. What I would say though, this is easier because I know everyone's going to have an excuse for this. I don't allow those excuses, but anyway, here's what you do. You do what I do when I'm traveling. I have a shaker bottle. My shaker bottle is across the room right now, but you have a shaker bottle, right? You can get any of the ones. We have that Pro Stack one, which I think is awesome, so I use that quite a bit. But you have a shaker bottle, and I bring it on vacation with me. I bring it when I travel, whenever I'm speaking, right? Which I haven't done since March of this year. But you bring it, and all you do is you fill it with 20 ounces of water. You put 2 scoops of your DNS in. What do? You shake it up. Now you're done. No blending, okay? What do you do on the side? That's where you have your fruit. Super simple. Or you make some oatmeal. That's it. Like oatmeal and fruit, that would be fine too. Get a real breakfast, right? You're a Vata body type. You're most likely dipping more into low blood sugar. You don't have the high blood sugar issues. You might. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. But that's it. Like, why not just make some warm oatmeal, put some blueberries on top, have your shit. You just shake up your shake, and you're good to go. Like, that's your breakfast. And then you can find 20 minutes for lunch, right? 20 minutes for lunch around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock or so, okay? So that's that. In terms of taking your supplements, don't listen to everyone saying that you're not going to get the benefit if you don't do this, 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 and the other thing. No. Yes, there are ideals, okay? There are ideals. Ideally, you should take your digestive enzymes 10 minutes before eating. Is it okay to take it mid-meal with everything else? Yes, absolutely. It's still going to work. Is it better to take the majority of your zinc at dinner, mid-meal? Yes, it is. Why? If you take zinc away from food, you might get nauseous, okay? Take it mid-meal. Can you take magnesium with food? Of course you can, 100%. Should you take magnesium oxide with food? No. It's gonna give you bowel issues. There's no doubt about it. But take good quality products. So that's the thing. Like, don't listen to everybody out there. People say things just to get their name out there. We had people in the beginning of this pandemic saying, never use elderberry, this, that. Like, listen, don't listen to the majority of people. The majority of people are there to just make a name for themselves and to do whatever. Don't listen to all that. I mean, really, honestly. And one more thing I will share with you is this. If you really want to get in the nitty gritty, in about a week from now, or maybe even it's happened already, go to equa.life. Look at all of our product pages. They're all being redone. All of them are going to have a video in the little carousel of me it's just 1 minute long, of me telling you how to use the product, why I formulated it, why I chose these. And then on that page under the science behind the product, it's also going to tell you how to use it as well. So if you don't want to watch a video, it will tell you, like Adrenal Soothe, take 1 at lunch and 2 at dinner. Full spectrum magnesium, take 1 at lunch, 2 at dinner. Can you take more? Yes. Can you take yes? Yes. Can you take less? Yes, you can. What about vitamin D? Well, take the serving that's right for you with breakfast. Can you do it at dinner? Yes. But I'll give you the recommended, okay? So all those product pages, remember, 2021 is about bringing you massive amounts of content that you can use, that you can take action on. All right, big epic rant right there. Laura, hopefully that was helpful. All right. One more to go. Right? Well, let me just make sure. I like to get 6 questions a day. So we answered Mackenzie and Gabby and Michelle and Laura. All right, that's only 4, so we're going to do 2 more. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Have you ever heard about the Myers-Briggs personality type test? If so, what's your opinion about it? And if you've completed it, maybe you could reveal yourself. Smiley face. Thanks for everything you do, Doc. All right, Anonymous, thanks for writing in. So I've kind of done all of these different personality tests because at seminars that I've been to, they've given us them for free, which is kind of nice because I think they're usually, well, technically they're free. If you're watching this on video, those are the air quotes coming out. I probably paid like $1,000 to be at the seminar and they give us this $50 test. But, they're all fun. They're all fun to do. I've done a bunch. I've done, is it the SWOT? I've done the strategic coach one. I've never been to a strategic coach event, but I got to do their assessment. But yes, I've done Myers-Briggs. I am an INTJ. I don't fully know what that means, to be honest with you, because I haven't studied Myers-Briggs a lot. So again, I'm not someone that knows a lot about it. I just know the INTJ is a rare personality, and luckily it's a rare personality. We do not want a lot of people like me walking around this earth, very strange individuals. But basically an INTJ is a person that likes to do exactly what I do, which is sit in my office, read thousands of books, and think. That is what I love to do. I'm not the best at small talk. I will be honest with you. I love people. I love talking to people, but I also love being in my cave and I call it my lab, my tank. And basically what I do is I consume massive amounts of information. And that's crazy. That is crazy. I get that. People look at me. My wife looks at me like, what are you doing? I read up on, just this week, I was reading up on quantum mechanics, which I know very little about, but I like to learn about. I like to study. I was reading about the whether consciousness will ever be able to be developed and downloaded into AI. I was reading about statistics and probability so that I could read studies to even a better degree. I've read books this week on just retouched on my, it's called psychocybernetics. I'm all of these different things. I love to consume information. So again, that's what I like to do. I don't know if I'm really an INTJ. I took the test once. That's what it said I was. So Anyway, there you go. So yes, I think it is good. Like, I mean, it said I was an INTJ. That's pretty much what I am. Like, I mean, it's pretty much, you know, I'm a someone that likes to think about strategical things, order. I like to be able, I mean, if you saw my wall right now in my office, and that's why I like people that listen to these weekend shows, because I give a little bit more information about me, but my wall is about 30 feet long. It might be bigger. It might be longer than 30 feet. And the whole wall is covered. It's not, people would think I'm insane if they ever saw it. Luckily, no one comes in this particular office. So all it is basically me giving myself different exercises and thought projects, and then I try to work out the specific answers. And I do that for really hard cases as well. It's like I just try to like pull things together, and I have a lot more books that I'll eventually write in the future once I take care of a few things that I need to take care of. But it's also how I put together my health results accelerators. Like I think about everything that could go wrong for this thyroid issue to develop, or female hormones, or you know, cholesterol, blood pressure, whatever it might be, and then I work through the problem. Like I work through the problem. Okay, if it can be this, then this, and if it's this, then it's this, and if this happens, then you want to do this, and basically I look at it as almost like math, you know, like as basically trying to work out equations. Anyway, that probably rant just showed you my personality and who I am. But I don't try to change who I am. So I am who I am. I've worked on myself for sure to become a better human being, but that is me, and I've always been that way. Okay. And part of it's nature and part of it's nurture. So David's up next and last today. Why is B12 so widely recommended by doctors and health practitioners, but not a B complex? Is it because B12 deficiency is so much more severe than deficiencies in B3, B5, B6, etc.? David, you are correct in both assumptions. It's recommended by functional medicine doctors more than almost anything else. Maybe folate would be right up there, methylfolate. And okay, so one is, it's been talked about way too much as almost like a panacea. It's like, oh, give B12, give B12 for brain fog, give B12 for gut issues, and it's like for Alzheimer's, for dementia. Listen, we need B12. Do we need like 100,000 micrograms a day? No, we don't. Like, we certainly don't. So it's way overused in mass dosages, but underused in smaller dosages. And that's kind of like the way of the world, right? So we give you a much larger dose inside the daily nutritional support, and then we give you an even little bit bigger dose inside the activated B complex. If you're using the daily nutritional support and you're using 2 capsules a day of the active B complex with lunch, you really don't need extra B12. Now, if you do, because there's some instances, what would be some instances and why would it be so recommended? And that's because anemia can actually be from B12. It's not always iron. It's not always iron. It can be B12 as well. So yeah, B12 can be clinically diagnosed, like meaning they run a lab for methylcobalamin. Actually, most doctors don't run methylcobalamin. They just run vitamin B12. You really want to look at methylcobalamin, which is on that Candida metabolic and vitamins test over at Equilife. So that's it. Again, I'll use high dosages of B12 temporarily for sure. I will. And there's a product that we have that's methylfolate and methyl B12. It's an amazing product. So that's great for methylation issues. Use it for about 12 weeks and then just continue on with the DNS and that activated B complex. But you need all your Bs. You really do. B6 is the most underrated overall for sleep, mood, thyroid. Yes, all of those, without a doubt. And B1 is probably the most underrated for thyroid, and B5 is definitely the most underrated for adrenals, and B3 is the most underrated for anti-aging, NAD, and depression and issues like that. So again, like I could go on and on. Biotin, which is part of the B vitamin family, needed for the hair, skin, and nails. So they're all important. By only taking B12 and not the others, you're really doing yourself a disservice for sure. So David, good question. Thank you, everyone, today. We had great questions, a lot of fun. We'll be doing this again tomorrow. Hopefully you'll tune in then and have an amazing weekend. Take care.